Hey, everybody, this is Norm Nixon, and you're watching the Byron Scott Fast Break Podcast.
We're back, another episode of Byron Scott's Fast Break. Jay Wagers, Coach Byron Scott.
What up, what up?
Going to the clipboard today, we got a true Laker legend joining us. Two-time NBA champion, two-time All-Star, one of the smoothest point guards of his era. Drafted in the first round by our beloved Lakers in 1977. Became a key piece of Showtime Lakers, running the fast break with Magic, Worthy, Kareem. Known for his speed, court vision, clutch performance. Helped LA bring titles in 1980, 82 before Byron joined the team. Before continuing his career with the Clippers, off the court, he's been an actor, entrepreneur, agent, mentor to young athletes. Please welcome Stormin' Norman.
Thank you.
Norm Nixon in the building.
Acting, you could probably scratch off.
Well, he was married. He's married to a great actress.
Yeah.
That's what damn
you
sure.
could do
But no,
that.
before you get started, hold on.
Wait. I got a question though.
Okay.
You guys were traded for each other that brought you to the Lakers. You guys have been good throughout the years. Is there any beef?
You know what, Jay? I want Norm to go ahead and clear this up real quick because everybody thinks that there was so much beef with me and Norm because we were traded for each other. This young man,
I'm older than you now.
This older man, the first time that we met, walked up to me and Norm, you want to tell him what you told me?
No, we were on the rocks.
Yep.
And most business historically always want us fighting each other.
Yeah.
You respect each other. You get on the court, you're going to try to dog each other. But it's like, we don't control the front office. I walked up to him. I said, hey, man, don't buy into the thing that I don't like you. You had nothing to do with me being traded. It was the Lakers that traded me. We see him on the court, try to bust my butt. But as far as in animosity because you were traded for me, I have none because he had nothing to do with that. He was coming out of college trying to get a job. They made a business decision based on what they thought was best for the team, and that's what they did.
When he told me that, dog, I had so much more respect for that brother because I watched Norm play. You know what I'm saying? And I thought, I'm a young man. I'm getting drafted and traded to the Lakers, and I thought when we first saw each other that he might be pissed off at me. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
But he came up to me and said that, man. I was like, damn, that is so cool. So, I mean, from that day on, I've had nothing but respect and admiration for this man. And still do to this day. Love him like a brother. We've been in golf tournaments together. He's been to the house. We've been at events. We done everything. But everybody, for some reason, just thinks even when somebody sees me or see a picture with us, and I'll run this, oh, y'all talk? I'm like, what? I was like, damn. First of all, it's 40 years ago. Something like that. I said, Norm is my dude. To get that
I've
out the way.
I've seen you guys dancing together on social media, all kinds of cool stuff.
Shit, we done flew back from golf tournaments together, and we'd be at the airport, and Norm would just be hitting me with some other gyms, and we'll just talk, and we just have a good time. So, now that we got that straight, all you assholes out there that think we've been fighting, we ain't never had a problem with each other. That's y'all. So we'll go from there.
Media.
There you go.
I mean, they made up the whole thing like I didn't like Magic. Magic, another young guy that came in, but we both happened to be better with the basketball. Somebody asked me one time, well, what's the difference? Like Magic was out a few games and we were on a nice win streak. They asked me, well, what's the difference when Magic's in and when Magic's out? I said, when Magic's not playing, I handle the ball 80% of the time. I said, when he's there, 45, we share 50% of the time. We just happen to be two guys better with the basketball.
Yeah.
And in our situation, I was a better shooter. So a lot of time when it was time to get into the offense, I went in and played the two to come off the picks to take the shot. I mean, that was just the way it was.
People can't complain too much because with Magic, you won 2 titles.
Mm-hmm.
They won in 80 and 82.
Oh, yeah. No question. I mean, you got two guys. We were both top 5 in the league every year in assists.
Yeah.
2 guys can handle the ball. We created different problems. Magic being 6'9", and Byron attested this, he could see over most point guards. Yeah. So he can make passes I couldn't make. So even as a player, I would go, hey, Magic, you handle when we get into a set situation because it's a little easier. I got to fake up, drive, figure out how to get the ball around. You just look over a little guard and throw it. But when teams pressed us, it was probably worse if I got the ball because I was going to blow by people and create stuff on the other end. Because I was a point guard, I knew how to make plays for everybody else. I mean, Byron would have loved playing with me,
Mm-hmm.
because I wasn't the type of guy that wanted to shoot all the time. I know in order for my team to win, I got to get the other guys off. I mean, if you check it, I always average 16 to 17 points. I never wanted to average more than that because I knew if the Lakers were going to win, it wasn't going to be because of my scoring to lead the team all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a guy that had the ability to score when I needed to, but I knew my main gig was to set up my teammates, created some disruptions on defense. I had the ability to pick guys up full court and do certain things. I guarded the little guys, little quick guys. That was my era.
I got a question for you. I want to also kind of go on this bullshit of the Showtime special where they did, the Lakers Showtime when they brought that up and they did
winning time.
Winning time.
Winning
right?
time.
And even my wife was like, "You got to watch this." And when I was watching it, first of all, she was like, "Did that happen?" I said, "First of all, I don't know. I wasn't there." I said, "From what I hear, hell no." I said, "Most of this stuff is bullshit." So can you tell all our fans how accurate Winning Time was?
Well, they started the show out by doing a disclaimer, based upon actual accidents. Now, you got to remember, I'm from Macon, Georgia. That's not New York City, Chicago. So how can I call anybody country? First of all. Second thing, they had me playing basketball in fur coat in the summertime. Never owned the fur coat. Secondly, I was raised by my mother, my grandmother, my great aunt. I didn't call women bitches and hoes and all that stuff. That wasn't in my makeup. I have too much respect. So that character they had there walking in the salon, these bitches, you bitches, this is my motherfucking team. None of that was me. So I think real Laker fans that were around our era didn't like it. Mm-hmm. For people that didn't know us, they enjoyed it. And my son played me. And I told my son, I said, "Listen, dude, go get your check. Go feed yourself. But don't make me look too stupid." And I said, and you must realize, once you leave Los Angeles, people think this is a documentary. Mm-hmm. So I would be in the airport sometimes. "Oh, man, I can't believe you did that." I don't even answer. I didn't even answer. I just walk away. It's like,
really?
Oh, you get outside LA, people thought it was a documentary. They enjoyed it.
So was there any, your son playing you, was there any anger from you on the way they made him portray you?
Well, can I tell you, I've never watched it.
Oh, you've never seen it?
Never watched it. I watched the first clip when he had me in a fur coat and cursing women out.
Yeah.
And I actually talked to the producers once about coming and help them consult when it was first they were first in development and getting ready to start shooting it. And I said, "Man, I can't. I know what I say is not necessarily what's going to be on the screen." Mm-hmm. So they wanted us to validate it. So I was like, "No, I'm not getting ready to come and consult and validate this because half of what you're going to put on the screen is not going to be true. Or most of it is not going to be true." So I didn't get angry, but I can't really say because, like I say, I didn't watch it.
It's funny because I know Cap said he never watched it. Buck never watched it. I don't know if Coop watched it. Most of the guys at that time, like Norm, that were in there, they didn't watch it.
And most guys didn't watch it because, number one, you didn't want to validate it, but it was so ridiculous. And then, and I said to my son too, I said, this is about guys that's walking around.
Yeah.
We still walking around talking. So for some reason, they thought they were going to go to a Laker game and get ovation. They went there and damn near got booed.
And that's the reason why they didn't continue the series is because there was just too much of.
Yeah. Well, from us. I mean, I think outside of Los Angeles, like I said, I went back to Georgia. Some people watched it because that's what they want to think it is.
Mm-hmm.
We run around in fur coats. Mm-hmm. Everywhere we go, we chasing women. They had guys, the little bit I saw, guys look like buffoons. And I tell people, you can't have a championship game and don't have disciplined guys. You can't be stupid and be a championship team.
Yeah.
There's too much involved. You can't be like a guy that doesn't have discipline. That's not going to get your rest. That's not going to come to practice. It's not going to put the work in. You can't have a championship team where everybody's just like, "Oh, let's go party. Let's go eat. Let's go hang out. Let's go do this," because championship teams police themselves. And my analogy, and I'll cut it off, is like Dennis Rodman wasn't a problem with the Chicago Bulls because he had champions around him. Because if he was a problem, they would have said, "Get him out of here. He can't be on the court with us." Because when we played, if we working hard, and you come off the bench to play with us, and you're not working hard, hey, Riley, get him out of here.
Yeah.
Put this guy on the court because at least we know he's going to work hard and we know what to get from him, and we're going to compensate for what he's not. But we know he's going to show up at practice. He's going to play hard. He's not going to be running around, I'm hurt, and miss practice 5 days and come in and want to play. You know, man, you miss 5 days, and you mess our timing up when you come back.
Yeah.
I want to take you back to those championship years, 80 and 82. What stands out the most for you during those championship runs?
Well, two things that stand out. In 80, when we won in Philadelphia, it's unfortunate. I laugh about it all the time. I got hurt the same game Kareem got hurt. But people don't realize.
That was at the Forum too then.
It was at the Forum.
Yeah.
So that same game, this finger right here.
The one that's all bent up right now.
Went back. So I'm running down court going, where's my finger? I look, I go, oh shit. So we snatched it in place and I played. So I go back to the championship game when Magic had the points. I couldn't shoot the ball, but I still played. So I played point pretty much with the cast. I played with one hand in that game. If you see the game, you'll see I didn't make no shots. Up until then, I was one of the leading scorers in the league. I would have preferred to be healthy playing that game, but if we had had a game 7, I wouldn't have played because I went straight for like surgery right after that game. So that stands out. Then you fast forward to our championship in 82. I was the Lakers leading scorer throughout the playoffs. Most people don't realize that. I led us in scoring. I mean, Kareem averaged 21. I averaged a little more than Kareem. All right, I'll get some basketball stuff to you guys. The people that's listening. Our team was so good that a lot of times it wasn't necessary for me to play well. You know, I played as long as I'm playing, but when we got to the playoff, people got neutralized. So the game came back to me. My matchup with Johnny Moore, my matchup with Cheeks would determine kind of who we won. We went to San Antonio. Kareem had to deal with Artis Gilmore. Imagine those guys had to deal with Ice. Silk had to deal with Mike Mitchell.
Yeah.
So they were all neutralized. So the game came back to my matchup with Johnny Moore. I'll go average 30 in the Western Conference Final. Then I get back to my regular game when you go somewhere else. So my playoff stats were better than my regular season stats because now all of a sudden the competition level is up and those guys get a little more neutralized. So the game, depending on me having a good game, how I play, had a lot to do with the outcome.
The success of the team.
Yeah.
Now that's a basketball thing most people don't really think about.
They'll get a little education today. You know what I'm saying? Let me ask you about this because the pace of play in the 80s, the late 70s, the early 80s into the 90s, compared to the pace of play today, do you think there's a big difference in the way we played way back in those days, besides that the game is more now out the end than it was in and out back then?
No question, because when you look at Philadelphia, San Antonio, our team, Utah, Denver, we were all fast break teams. One of the biggest differences is if we went on a 3-on-2, if we had a 3-on-2 fast break, we were going to score. But we were going to score 2 points. We were going to have guys fan out to shoot threes. So I think we were more, we scored much consistently in situations where we had advantage. 2-on-2, we was going to split, we was going to get a layup, we was going to score. These guys now fan out. If you go back, I don't even know the stats. It would be great for somebody to look up and see how many points we averaged in that time versus how many they average now. Second thing, they can't touch each other.
Different.
Can you imagine if you couldn't touch Kareem or Doc?
Oh, they'd be unstoppable.
And guys, David Thompson, these guys, if you couldn't touch them, or if they could jump stop and take another skip and hop, if they could walk. So the game today, I think they've done a whole lot to make it more European than the way we play. Because now we go to the Olympics, are they going to win? They going to lose?
Yeah.
It ain't that. Yes, basketball's better than other places. It's the way we play. We go into games in the Olympics and we'll have the smallest team. I mean, we went before. We were going to have Kareem and Artis and, some 7-footers in that could play. Then you'll have guys in the backcourt like us that was going to pick guys up full court and outrun them. So we could play physical and we can play a speed game. Now, if they're not shooting the ball well, they're not necessarily going to win because they're not going to dominate the board. We were going to dominate the boards if we went in there. So it's a different game now. And I was in a room, I think Cooper and I was in a room with somebody and they said, man, we don't know if Kareem could play in today's game. We got up and just walked out. We didn't even get into no conversation with him. We just walked out. It's like,
that's
dude, you didn't play in high school.
To even say something like that.
Really
you didn't play in high school. We just got up. We just walked out of the room. We didn't even get no. We went somewhere and had a drink. We didn't even get in conversation.
That's crazy. Norm, you were a dual sport athlete in college.
Mm-hmm. High school.
High school?
Yeah.
How did that translate into your game going forward in the NBA?
I think both of my sports helped each other. I played football and I played basketball.
Yeah.
So
what position you play in football?
Football was cornerback, and then I ran punts and kickoffs.
Okay.
And then I was always a third string quarterback and all that. In my senior year, I flipped and played both. I went and started playing tailback. We was 0-3, and our running backs was fumbling, so they put me at tailback. So I ran a little tailback with my little butt. But football helped my basketball. Football because I was used to contact because we were hitting people. So we were tough. We were all sitting on the corners. We had one of the best secondaries. So we were tough. So I was used to hitting people, tackling, running back and running the ball. You start understanding leverage about getting low because, you got to get low to get through people, and you're quicker when you're low. And in basketball, they tell you this, defensively, you get low. Offensively, you get in a crouch, you get low. So I understood how to use my body and getting low.
Mm-hmm.
Football helped my basketball. Basketball helped my football because now it's the quickness drills. So as a cornerback, you got to be quick. You got to have quick hips. So they both helped each other. So I was used to contact. I knew how to create contact. One of the biggest things going to the cup, and this is a guard thing, this is a basketball thing. If I'm running with you like this, I'm going to create the contact. I'm not going to jump away from you. I'm going to jump all up in your chest and in your face because all you're going to do is hit me and straighten me up. Mm-hmm. But these guys be trying to jump away from people and get knocked down and get hurt. No. If somebody's running with you, you jump straight up in them and put that knee up in them and put that body right on them. So they both helped me. And I was, I had more football offers than basketball.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
But I agree with you as far as I tried to seek out contact. Like you said, I tried to create it. Yeah, just because it would elevate you to a different level anyway. Straighten you up, you were able to make shots and take the contact and go to the free throw line and get an and one.
But you guys had to do that in your era, though.
Oh, you had to pick and choose your time to go down there. You can't go down all right, true story again. So now we in New York.
You couldn't go down there every time.
You can't go down there. Or if you go down there one time, then we're in New York. So I'm going on a fast break. I did a little high school thing, did this, and it was Maurice Lucas. So I did this. Luke went like this. I laid it up. The crowd was like, oh.
Got him out they seat.
Now I'm coming down court again on a fast break. So I'm trying to jump stop and go with my left. He just ran over me. And I knew Luke from Pittsburgh because he's from Pittsburgh and I went to Duquesne. So he ran over me, man. I hit the ground, bam. And he came over. Oh, Norm, I'm sorry, man. You know I can't change directions, man. You got to be careful when you come through here. I can't tell you what I said to him. I'm on the ground like this. But every time I went to the cup after that, you thought about it? Oh, come on, man. Little guys, because somebody asked me about Tony Park. Tony Park was one of the first guys you used to see that would pump fake, make a layup on big guys. I'll be, oh, Tony Park in the lane. If we went in the lane and you pump fake once or twice and scored on somebody, every time after that, you were going to get slammed. And they would say, man, you need to get out from under here. You need to. So you had to, for me, too, be a little bigger than me. So, I really had to pick and choose my time to get in there and get out. You know what I mean? I couldn't just be going in there trying to rebound and mess with those guys, man. They didn't play.
No, tell them back in the day, Norm, them brothers, like you go in, and if I dunked on one of them, they would straight tell you, you bring your ass back in here again.
Come in here again.
Try that shit again. I'm going to fuck you up. I mean, they would tell you.
And it wasn't about the ball then. It's like, you're embarrassed? Okay.
Yeah.
You come in here again. Joking. And plus, big guys was taught to rebound and put it here. And when they turn,
elbow.
They turn like this.
Yeah.
You run up on Kareem like, man, you get knocked out because he's going to be pivoting with this. And so if you run in there little, because that's face out for me, and you hit right here's face out. So you run in there slapping at the ball, he's spinning. And it's like he ain't going to try to hit you. You just get in that space. You knocked out.
Yep, you're going to get in that way.
You're going to feel it for a few games, huh?
Yeah. Hey, Norm, I want to ask you this, because you played with a bunch of them. Your 5 top all-time So some obviously you play with, and some that you haven't, that you might think should be up there. Your top 5 Lakers of all time.
God, there's so many great Lakers that I play with. I mean, it's kind of hard to narrow it down to just like I didn't really get to see Elgin and Jerry play, because when you talk to guys, they talk about Elgin, man. They always talk about Elgin was just a beast. You probably watched him play being in LA.
I sure did.
And Jerry, I didn't see Jerry play. They talk about Jerry. I didn't really get to see Wilt play. Guys I played with guys I played, you got to have Kareem in there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have Kareem in there. I mean, you got to probably put Magic and Kobe in there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, shit, J-Dub. You had a lot of J-Dub.
Yeah.
Power forward. I mean, I played with McAdoo at the tail end of his career, but McAdoo was a beast. Who did I say I watch and see that was just...
That's crazy. Y'all had all of them on one team.
That's 4 guys. I mean, look, man, Silk was a beast. I mean, people don't realize how good Silk was. Silk was rookie of the year, played that defense. He was just quiet.
So good.
Yeah.
He wasn't a media guy. Best pair of hands in basketball. Best pair of hands when I played with him. Catch any kind of pass and gather himself. He was one of the first ones to slow walk people. Quick, and real slow. Guys be flying by. He'll go slow it down and guys going by. It wasn't a Euro step. It was just his timing.
Right.
And it looked awkward. But, God, B, I don't know. You got to help me with some more names out there.
Shit, man.
Did we go Shaq? Did we put Shaq in there? You got Shaq, Kareem,
Shaq in there.
Kobe, Kareem, J-Dub. That's
Magic.
5. Yeah, we said Magic and Kobe, and then J-Dub, Shaq, Kareem.
Like I think all of us have a problem to just name 5 because there's so many great players. Like you said,
I think the first 3 are the easiest.
Yeah,
Shaq,
but
Kareem, Magic, Kobe. Those
yeah,
3
might be the easy. But again, like Norm was talking about,
man.
I got a chance to see Jerry
I was there.
West. I got a chance to see Elgin Baylor play.
Yeah.
I got a chance to see Wilt Chamberlain play because I was here in LA. And those 3 dudes, man, Jerry West was, you talking about 2-3 dribbles, pull up, jump shots.
Yep.
I mean, unbelievable. And Elgin was, to me, like the first Dr. J.
Yep.
I mean, he hung in the air. He was doing shit in the air that nobody was doing at that time.
And I asked somebody what one of the things that separated him, B, because you understand this too, talking to Truck Robinson. Elgin talked to, Elgin coached Truck Robinson when they were in New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
And I was asking Truck about Elgin. He said, man, when Elgin was an old man, he came out to practice one time. We was playing. He said, man, that dude grabbed me. I couldn't move. And you know how strong Truck was.
Yeah.
Truck was 6'9" and strong.
Strong as hell,
He said, man, Elgin grabbed him in practice one day, man. He said he couldn't move. So part of all this stuff you see, you see that part, but you don't see how physically strong he was.
It begs the question, because I just thought of something while both of you guys were talking, that you never saw Elgin, Wilt. I know you saw glimpses of them. There is no film on these guys nowadays. There's very, very little film. Whereas, by the time you come in, 77, 78.
Still no
80,
film.
Barely.
Still no
barely.
film.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Because, I could put on the championship 79, 80s versus Philadelphia. I can watch that today on YouTube. But now during the Kobe Shaq era, when the Lakers on that next dynasty went on that particular run, we have footage to see all of that stuff. Does the past players get too forgotten?
Well, most people can't remember past next week. It's not just it's
us too.
It's just like I don't think that's just unique to sports. I mean, it's history in general.
Yeah.
It's history in the history of the game. How can you not know who Spencer Haywood is if you play basketball and you're in college? But if you ask a college guy who Spencer Haywood is. So I think part of our education as players should be sometimes you need to understand the history of the game, understand, what people went through. I mean, I knew Bill Russell very well. Mm-hmm. I saw him start talking about basketball, man. He scared me almost. When he started talking, his intensity, his body language changed. But you got to remember what those guys were dealing with off the court.
Mm-hmm.
They were definitely tougher than we were.
Yeah.
We don't know how we would have responded if we couldn't stay in the hotel with everybody. We couldn't eat in restaurants, so we couldn't do the same thing. So they were dealing with some dynamics and social issues that we didn't have to deal with. They stayed with each other. So as much as they were battling. They had to be friends because they had to go stay on the side of town with players. Wilt and Russell had a pretty good relationship, even though they played a lot on the court. And just to put it in perspective for me, Bill Russell went to Indiana one time. I don't know if it might be the wrong city, but he went to a restaurant, they wouldn't feed him. And he said, I'm not playing. I'm going back to Boston. And they were like, you going back to Boston? So they had the owner and the people from the hotel called him, oh, come on, you can come eat with us. He said, I pick and choose who I eat with. He called all his teammates and all of the guys. He went back to Boston. He didn't play. How many players today put in that situation was, you don't know how you react in those situations. So, interesting guys.
That's what I love about this podcast is because we have past players like you that really do pay homage to the past and talk about these players from the past and have stories about these players from the past, because we're not going to see that or hear that ever unless it comes from players like you guys.
It's up to us to keep it alive because now, history in general, not just in sports, just our history in general, when you think about what the guys went through. But, you think about baseball, Jackie Robinson, you think about Jim Brown and all those guys. So they are the first black quarterbacks that played in the NFL, what they had to do in order to even play. My brother played quarterback, They couldn't go to a big school and play quarterback. They turned them into cornerbacks. They turned them into this. They didn't let them play quarterback because technically we couldn't think well enough to be quarterback. Now look at the NFL now. And that just started happening in the last few years.
Norm, you've been around this league for a long time, and we've had talks about some of the younger players in today's game. Do you think, and like Jay just kind of said, we always pay homage to the guys way before us. We had that type of respect. Do you think these guys pay homage like we do? Because I see on a lot of occasions where they don't. It's almost like it's a disrespect for what we did back in the day and what the guys did before us.
I think what happens with guys, I think they come in more with that kind of attitude, but once they're around and they start figuring out it's a business, they have that situation where you sign a contract, all of a sudden you get traded in the middle of the night like Anthony Davis all of a sudden. He probably want to talk to some veteran guys about, man, how did you deal with this? How did you handle this? How do you go through this? So I think when they get older, they end up being in a circle with more older players. And I think that attitude changes a little bit because I think they start understanding how important it is in the area of their lives to understand the history of sports, the history of our game in particular. Business, they need to understand business because they all make so much money. They need to understand business. They need to listen to somebody. We didn't make that kind of money. So they need to have people in their circles that can kind of school them just on a lot of stuff. So I've always thought, even when I was a player, I was an advocate for all that. And one of the reasons I came to you, man, I was a union guy. So I understood contracts. I understood what the leagues could do and could not do to us. So I didn't want players to run around and have all this artificial hate and stuff. Yeah, bust his butt, but don't talk about this man's woman and his family, and don't get into that. Don't let them have you doing all of that because that's not necessary. You bust his butt when you get him on the court and talk smack to him. But at the end of the day, you don't go down that path. So I've always thought it was important for guys to understand the history of the game, understand business. I was an agent for a while, as you mentioned. I used to tell guys, don't give up power of attorney. And power of attorney, for people who don't know, is you don't let anybody sign your checks, man. So I used to tell guys that. I was the guy that was in the airport going, man, join all the airline clubs and get your own miles. Don't let the team get your miles and make a deal with it. I'm a 1,000,000-mile traveler on a few airlines because I went to the counter and got my miles. So they used to be mad at me, some little locker room lawyers. So they were kind of halfway mad at me. Probably part of the reason I got traded too.
They called you a locker room lawyer?
Yeah, they used to mess with me. They used to mess with me all the time because I didn't let them mess with the guys. I knew the rules, man. I knew what they could and could not do.
Right.
Another true story. It's so funny to me. This is another true story. This is how I got in trouble. I always got in trouble. So then you know how it is, B. You get fined. You get late, you get fined.
Yeah.
You come in 5 minutes late, the whole team stopped. Yeah, we glad you can join us because it was all in fun and love. It's like take your money just like you take his money. Cap late. Cap, we want your money too. Kareem, now we want your money too. So Kareem had a bad week, right? he was like, I'm reined in Bel Air. You know, he lived in Bel Air. So we all laughed. Like, oh, yeah, right. So he came in about 3 days late. So every day he came in, we stopped. Cap, good to see you, brother. We glad you could join us, right? So we go in the huddle. And Westhead goes, you know what, guys? We shouldn't fine people anymore. We want to stop fining that day. We shouldn't fine people anymore. So this is my little butt. What, Norm? Then I think everybody you fined before this, you need to give them their money back. Or he wanted to kill me. So it's like, come on, man, don't come. We got a championship team. You gonna let, you know how it is, B. You can't treat, you know, look, stars do have a little something, but you got to be able to come and like call them out, you know, after practice. Hey, man, don't put me in no spot like this, man. If you want a day off, man, let's handle it differently. But don't be in it, you know, in front of everybody doing it to me, because, you know, stars do get treated a little differently. Yeah. But you can't do that in disrespect. You know, you're going to take all the guys on the bench money every time they're late, every time he's late. Then a starter's late. You don't want to take his money. No, man. You take everybody's money. That's right. We're going to keep it like this. Everybody's like this. Yeah. Now, you know, you got to a little bit behind them doors. You got to do a little bit with them. It's like, hey, man, come on, I need you to play. But again, as a championship team, we knew that. If Cap came in, he felt bad, and Magic felt bad, hey, man, don't worry about it. We're going to keep you out of practice today. We're going to do it for you. You were drinking last night. We ain't got no game. Hey, man, we need you tonight. Yeah. You get out. We're going to practice for you today. So we had that kind of camaraderie.
That's cool.
Yeah. Shit, no, when I coached, I wanted to take the Stars' money. I had Chris Paul and all those guys in New Orleans. I wanted them to be late. I wanted more of just to make an example. Yeah. To let everybody else know, look, I'll find his ass too.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know what I mean? But you have to do the best player. I'm going to find him so you know damn well what I'm going to do to y'all if y'all late.
Yeah, man. It was rules. You know? And you come late. You know, I never coached in the league, but if you come late 3 or 4 times, man, you got to get fined big time. You come late a couple more times, you know, if you're on a championship team, hey man, we don't want him starring with us. Yeah. I mean, so we were gonna take the lead in something like that.
Yeah, and it's all about policing each other anyway. Yeah. But I got a great story about CP when we were in New Orleans and I'm coaching CP. And CP, first of all, never got fined. This dude never was late. He was always on time for practice and everything. But we also had a rule about the plane. We leave in New Orleans, you know, when we had to fly to other cities at 2:00. Now we practice at 11. Practice at 11 goes probably about 12:45 on that day, so we can get our showers, talk to media, and everybody can get to the airport. This particular day, my son worked for me, Thomas. You know, he worked in New Orleans as one of our video guys, and so we're all on the plane, and 2:00 comes, and Terry, our trainer, says, "Coach, Thomas is not here." I said, what time is it? At 2:00. I said, let's go. And so I guess Thomas is driving up, parking while we're about to start closing the doors, right? So CP says, Coach, I see Thomas. Here he comes. I says, 2:00. Close the doors, let's go. Right?
That's a little rough.
He left his ass? 2:00.
You left his ass?
Left his ass. But look, so we in the air. Chris Paul, I'm sitting right behind, where all the players sit. They in first class. I'm right in the seat right behind that, right? And Chris Paul, you can hear him mumbling, shit, he left his son. You don't think he'll leave our ass?
I can see Byron in the window. Bye.
I will say one thing those guys did. You know, like guys before us didn't get paid nothing. We didn't really get paid that much either. And, you know, benefits, you know, horrible, terrible. And what I will say Chris and those guys did, they ensured that the older guys had insurance. Yeah. That was one thing. I took off my hat. You know, I'm not a big social media guy, but I tweeted about that. I thought it was cool because, in particular, the guys that are even older than me. You know, most of those guys didn't have insurance, and this happened a few times in locker rooms. You know, when you get cut and you don't have, when you're not with a team, your insurance goes. So these guys have agents that don't tell them. You know, Cobra lasted 90 days. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you didn't have agents that go, hey man, in 90 days, you're not going to have insurance. So you need to find some insurance. So I can remember many times when guys had bad injuries or somebody in their family had injuries, we put money together to help guys out of jam. Yep. But I fought the agents and the people that represented them because they did not go and tell the guys, In 3 months, Cobra's over. You got to get insurance. And few guys, back in the day, you had a $200,000 doctor bill. You couldn't pay it. You making $55,000, $65,000 a year. But no one told them that Cobra was going to be over with and that they should get other insurance. So I took my hat off to the guys because they did make sure they provide you played a certain number of leagues, you get free insurance the rest of your life. So I applauded the guys on that. Yeah. So I thought that was very respectful.
He was a president.
He was president at that time.
Yeah,
so I thought that was wonderful.
All right, Norm, I'm going to take you back to your playing days. 2-part question. Who was the toughest defender you ever faced during your playing days and toughest player you ever guarded?
Well, 2 things I'll say about that. It's all about the teams. The toughest defensive guy is usually a guy that has a team that plays great defense. Mm-hmm. Bill tell you, you can't guard nobody one-on-one. You can't guard these guys one-on-one. You can slow them down and try to take the ball out of their hand a little bit. But defensively, if you beat a guy and this team plays great team defense, somebody's already coming to get you. Or they double team you. So it's never individual. So in my day, it was the Atlanta Hawks because Hubert Brown was crazy. These guys diving in the walls, diving on the floor. We trying to get out of their way so they don't twist our ankles. But so as a team, they played tough defense because their team defense was so good. So it wasn't the individuals. I would say this, Gus and DJ took the crossover out of my game. I mean, I used to be crossover. They used to pew.
Yeah,
I was like, whoa, because DJ had those long arms. DJ, I'd be down like this, holding him off, trying to call the play. He reached around me and tapped the ball. I was like, oh shit, okay, I got to change up how I play. So basically, I was faster than those guys. So I used to freeze them and try to outrun them. So they stopped me from crossing over. Now, defensively, for me, the toughest players, again, were the many point guards weren't scorers in my day. Yeah. You had Gus Williams, Isaiah were scorers. They're the toughest because the team's offense is set for them. Yeah. So when Gus moved out the ball, you had Lonnie Shelton setting picks, Jack Sigma setting picks. Who else was there?
Paul Silas.
Yeah,
Paul Silas.
These guys, now Lonnie's 6'8", 280. Jack was 6'10", 6'11", 280. Paul Silas, 6'7.5". Country, raw, one of those guys like running into a piece. All Gus did was ran off pick. Boom, boom, boom. Here come Lonnie. Bam, here come this one. Bam. It was like, so those guys were tough. Isaiah, again, offense was made for him. He had the ball. So those guys become the toughest guys to guard because the offenses were set for them. I mean, like Curry, it's how do you guard him? He's cutting off a pink. Everybody's looking for him. He go this way, he go this way, he cutting, he's running, but he moves without the ball. So he creates a problem for you, and he's getting all these picks.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the answer.
Yeah. No.
In a nutshell.
Yeah. So Norm, I always say, in the era that I played with, you played in that same era because you played against Larry Bird as well.
Mm-hmm.
That he was the biggest trash talker that I've ever seen.
Ever.
Okay, you just answered my question there.
One of the biggest ever.
Man,
he told
people
me,
don't realize
so
how much
one year,
shit Larry
this is a
Bird
funny story.
talk.
And I was so pissed off because I was with the Clippers, right? And I was a free agent. So I held out of camp for them to pay me my money. Don Sterling wasn't going to pay me. So Lenny Wilkins had to pay me. So I'm halfway pissed off. So that year, they put me in a 3-point shoot. I'm like, oh man, I didn't shoot threes. I never practiced for it. So we go back and we back getting ready to shoot it. So Larry walks in. He goes, Norm, everybody here shoot for second place. And I was so mad that I hadn't practiced, so I could at least do something. Everybody shooting, everybody going for second place. Then he went out and won the shit, right? So now we go to Boston. At that time, I was playing with Cedric. Mm-hmm. Maxwell was on the Clippers. Mm-hmm. No, he walked on the court like, Norm, all threes tonight. I'm shooting all three. I said, Maxwell gonna lock you up. I said, Max coming up here to lock you up here in Boston. So we started the game. He's at the 3. He took a shot and somebody hit him and he fell down. I think I was on the other side of the court. So he's on the ground like this, looking for me. So he talked. That's why Doc, you remember if you look at the tape, Doc called him at half court and grabbed him, punched him about 8 times.
Yeah.
But Larry, it wasn't even halftime. I don't know how many points. He must have had 22. It was some crazy number of points in the first half. And I think he was in, because you saw him running down the court. You know he was in Doc's ear. Doc stopped, turned around, bam, bam. So, no, Larry talked, man. Coop tells me stories about him, too.
Yeah, he talked more shit than anybody I've ever seen on
and
the basketball
backed it up, though.
And that's what I said. I think when we did the 30 for 30, right, when we talked about the rivalry, and they asked me about Larry, and I was telling them a story about him saying he was going to go over there to the three-point line and catch it in the corner and shoot it. He said, there ain't a damn thing y'all could do about it, right? And he went over there and did it, right? I said, he was the biggest shit talker. I said, but I guess that ain't talking shit if you can do it.
But grew up playing with brothers, grew up playing with anybody. And DJ was funny, too, because they had a little thing, because, Larry got every call now. He didn't need all the help he got, but he got every call.
Right.
So DJ had a saying, he called them bird calls. So Larry get a call, he go, bird call, bird call. So Larry comes and say, hey, if they going to give it to me, I'm going to take it. Bird call.
Again, Larry Bird, the biggest shit talker probably in NBA history.
Man.
He backed it up.
Could go.
Hey, yes. Norm, you're I'm gonna take you back to your court days, and I see you on TV doing NBA TV and stuff. What part of your game from back in the day can translate in today's game? What's missing from today's game?
All of my game are translating in today's game. Shit.
That's what I wanted to hear.
No, it's like, come on, man. Come on, man. The way we push the ball, the way we, fast break, and then can't touch.
Yeah.
I mean, quick as I was, nobody could touch me. I never forget. I didn't realize I was a Laker till I was a Clipper, because I got no calls after that. I used to go to the hoop, man. Kareem would butt me, boom, hit me. I look at the ref like, oh, come on, man, come on. Can I get a call? I know, because I knew all the refs too, because they knew me from championship series. Now I laugh because I went from winning 60 games, I going 60 and 22 to 22 and 60. So I used to tell the refs, I said, come on, man, I know I'm a Clipper, but can I get a call? Come on, dude. Come on, Jake. I used to say, Jake, come on, can I get a call?
Jake O'Donnell. Yeah.
And I laugh. I get Coop all the time, because the first time I played against him, I told him in the locker room, I said, if I ever get it with a good team, now you knew I'm going to come through and spank y'all, because I know all y'all. So now the first game we beat them, right?
Yep,
I think I had about 27 in the first half. We never beat them again. And I don't think I ever scored in double figures again. I know Riley took them in the back. You let that little motherfucker beat us again. I don't even think I scored in the second half of that game.
That's when you guys were in San Diego too. Huh? That's when you was in San Diego.
Yeah, that was the first game. First game we played. Lou and Jack and all of them came down there. And then Bill got hurt. Everybody got hurt. The same old Clipper thing, man. I went down there, man. It was so funny. I go down there now. You got to remember, now I'm coming from the Lakers. I go down there. They came down. They happy. They making T-shirts. We going to win 30 games this year. I said,
like, that's an accomplishment, right?
Yeah. I looked at these guys and said, man, I'm not wearing that shit, man. Get that out of here. Their goal was to win 30 games, man. I'm like, come on, man. So they tell you the difference between championship team and non-championship team. Yeah. Every year with 9 new guys, different coach. You can't win like that. If you look at teams that don't win, I'm sure if you go look at the rosters every year, they're changing players, changing coaches. You got to build the team, man, and get you a foundation and build from a foundation.
Yeah. Silk went to the Clippers and said the same thing. He was like, look, I'm retiring.
He was waiting, but you know why he retired? Because that was the year I was holding out. Mm-hmm. So I hadn't come back yet. He retired before he came to actually play with me. But then I was holding out that year, and then about 8 games, because I stayed out about 15 games into the season.
Well, like you said, you knew Donald Sterling wasn't going to come up with that money like he's supposed to.
So we were never free agents. There was no such thing as free agency when we were playing. That's what we fought about all the time when I was a player.
Guys, you know what? I want to talk real quick. I want to just hit you on my guys, Drew Estate. Here I am with another stogie, a Dominica. I tell you guys, they make the best stogies around. We were going to give Norm a box, but Norm don't smoke stogies.
Nope.
So we're going to have to give him some whiskey or something else, you know. But Drew Estate Cigars, guys, you got to check them out. Again, you see me all the time on the podcast, with a Drew Estate cigar, and they make some of the best stogies in the world. Drew Estate Cigars. Here's another one of them right here.
So, Norm, we talk about Kobe on this podcast a lot. And do you have a favorite story about Kobe beating Bryant that you could share with our audience?
We talked a little earlier about guys that not knowing the history of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Kobe was a student of the game, man.
100.
He knew all of us.
100.
One thing I knew about, just very respectful. He was very respectful of older players. I probably spent more quality time with him once he got out of basketball.
Mm-hmm.
His girl dad thing, he was a big supporter of our dance academy. And I spent some time talking to him just about a lot of stuff. So just a very respectful young guy. And that's what I enjoyed more than anything. So when I was on, when I was on Fox Sports, I used to interview him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I loved about him. I didn't play with him. I didn't, he's a lot younger than me. And but I knew his dad. I played against his dad. His dad played at LaSalle. I played at Duquesne, Pittsburgh. I knew Jelly Bean. And I just admired, respected, and loved the guy that he developed into, from this beast on the court, transitioned to this family man, to the girl dad, and was a very philanthropic guy. So that's what I enjoyed about him. Yeah,
we try to pay homage to Showboat, as I called him back in the day.
Oh, he was that.
Man, he was
a
special.
beast, man. He was a beast.
He was special, Norman. I got to know him extremely well, playing with him as a rookie, then obviously coming back and coaching him in his last 2 years, and all in between that time of us just staying in contact. And man, what a just unbelievable person.
Yeah.
You know, that a lot of people missed out, that didn't get a chance to really meet Kobe off the court, because he was, like you said, he was an advocate for women's basketball. He was a girl dad, but he did so many things behind the scene that people didn't never see. He would just go to a high school, baseball game, and just, just stuff that you never heard about. So we always try to make sure we pay homage to him.
And I still, Kobe was more Italian. He grew up in Italy.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's, Kobe didn't do this. I go, guys, he grew up in Italy. He didn't grow up in South Central or in Philadelphia. He visited those places.
Right.
But he's European. He grew up in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to get you out of here with some rapid fire questions. Norm, just you can give us a quick answer. If you want to elaborate, you can. We'll go back and forth. Byron, you want to kick it off?
Yep. Favorite teammate in your Laker days?
My favorite teammate, man, I got a lot of those. It's hard to say one because
I know.
I had a lot of guys. Me, Cool, McAdoo.
Who'd you run the streets with?
I didn't run the streets, man. I was a solo man. Listen, I learned real early in my career. Magic and Coop hung out a lot together when we were young. So we were young guys. But I learned early that that secret is one you keep to yourself, man. If you don't want somebody to know your business, you stay away. So I hung out. But no, we all hung out. We all hung out together, But I'm in communication with a lot of the guys. McAdoo, Jones, Silk, Buck, and I still talk periodically. Cap and I still talk.
Yeah.
Kirk when I see him. So I think we all have a good relationship. And I think that comes from too. When you win championships, man, that's like battle together. So there's a bond there. Because invariably when people see us places and we're laughing so hard, they all would, why y'all laughing so hard? It's like everybody get quiet because we don't talk when they come around. Because the stories we tell each other, man, is like
for us.
Classic stories.
Yeah.
So there's a bond with all your teammates when you win championships. So I'm pretty cool with most of the guys.
Okay.
All right. Favorite arena outside the Forum to play in for you?
The ones you wanted to play in. I mean, when you grow up, you want to play in certain places, man. Yep. You want to play Boston Garden. Yep. You want to play Madison Square Garden. Yep. You want to go play the Chicago Bulls place.
Mm-hmm.
In Philadelphia, the Spectrum. So you want to play those places.
Okay. That's favorite. Okay.
Yeah. Those places you grow up watching, you want to go in those places, man. Walk around Boston Garden, you want to beat them in there too.
Yeah. Okay, so the most underrated player from your era.
Me. I tell you, guys, I am one of them. But the guys that you don't hear a lot about were guys like Bernard King. You don't hear a lot about Alex English.
Yeah.
Even Kiki Vandeweghe.
Yeah.
Michael Ray Richardson. See, Michael got kicked out of the league, but Michael he was a triple-double waiting to happen. Just did everything. Michael Ray Richardson. I would say Michael Ray because I don't think people got a chance to see him play, so they just didn't know what he did. And I think the guy that they don't talk about a lot, but he did, was, people forget how good David Thompson was, man.
Mm-hmm.
But I think underrated, it would probably be Michael Ray Richardson. Because then I give you another one. I used to vote for Rodney McCray for All-Pro every year. Played at D.
Yeah.
Rebounded, scored, did everything. It's the reason they beat the Lakers, because Rodney could get with James a little bit. They had all the big guys. Transition, dunk with both hands. I think he and Michael Ray Richardson would be my two.
Yeah, Rodney McCray was nice.
Oh,
and was quiet.
Quiet. You didn't pay no attention.
Yeah, he just played.
You look up in the stat sheet: 10 rebounds, 12 points, few assists, but
couple of block
played
shots.
defense on the toughest. Offense. Same thing with Michael Ray Richardson. Played defense on the toughest guards on every team, but he was going to get 20.
Yeah,
7, 8 rebounds.
I might have Michael just a little bit ahead of him because, like you said, Michael Ray was a triple-double waiting to happen.
Exactly.
I mean, that dude was just cold-blooded.
All right, what's your go-to pregame song back in the day in your era?
Shoot, man, I'm still listening to the same songs, man. Frankie Beverly, Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Old
Marvin.
school.
I'm still, that's in my car right now. You go to and believe me, I'm driving one of my old cars, man. I got Earth, Wind, and Fire in there right now.
I love it.
Still playing the same songs, man.
I love it.
You have more of a routine. I don't know if it was a song, but a routine, you had a routine.
Yeah.
I had a routine,
So in that routine, because I know you probably just like me, we all superstitious. So, you went to sleep, you ate the same stuff,
Exactly.
You got in your car to drive to the arena at that same time. Once you got in the locker room, you put your uniform on at a certain time. So your music probably at that time going to the arena was just smooth jazz or R&B.
Smooth jazz. But I tell you this is one of my routine things, and I did it for a reason. I went and sat in the toilet because I used to take the team stats so I could read the stats and stuff because nobody could bother you. When you're in the locker room, everybody talking. I used to go sit in there, get my team stats out, read them. But in college, what was very interesting, my college coach had us taking yoga. So I used to stretch a lot. So one of the things I did before the games, man, I get my box of popcorn. I'll sit on that floor when we was getting notes, Stopped getting taped because of Kareem. I stopped getting taped after my rookie year because I used to twist my ankles and did more yoga because ankles are meant to turn. But once you restrict them, as soon as you break that, you get hurt. And I started wearing low tops. I started my second year in the league. I started wearing low cuts and I started stretching, stopped getting taped.
Well, that's crazy because I never got taped when I was with the Lakers. And because
you didn't get taped?
Never got taped.
Yep,
Unless I hurt my ankle.
You taped it for a while.
So why aren't players and teams and trainers teaching this today?
They never taught us to stretch. Guys come in with a hamburger and go play.
Yeah, but Kareem had the secret sauce.
He would be doing yoga.
Yeah, doing yoga. He had the secret sauce. How come that hasn't transitioned?
Because that's just not a fundamental, one of the fundamentals. You handle the ball, you shoot the ball, don't look down, do this. It's not like they don't teach you how to. I mean, I can't speak about now, but in my day, now they got so many people in the locker room. I don't know if those guys use them the way they should, but you should be stretching all the time. I never got hurt until I stepped in a gopher hole in New York and tore my knee up. Because from that, I never got hurt, man. I used to play 80, 81 games every year because I attributed a lot of it to preventive. I stretched all the time and I tried to take care of myself.
Yeah, because really you should be stretching before and after
the games.
A lot of guys don't do that.
Yeah.
All right, Norm, I got another one for you. Best dressed Laker during Showtime and the worst dressed Laker.
Kareem probably was the worst. He didn't care about clothes. Kareem be out of the locker room. He say, Cap, at least take a shower, man. He be zoomed out of there. Shit, I might have been the best player.
I was about to say, on winter time, you had the fur coat anyway. They had, you might as well say
You know what it was?
right?
I actually owned the clothing store back then.
Oh, did you?
I was part owner of a clothing store. But then we all dressed back in the day because remember, we came to game in suits, man.
Yeah,
we didn't come in jeans and stuff. We didn't have no shirt in town.
Yeah.
We traveled because we traveled commercial.
Yep.
We had to go through airports. So we were always dressed, even if it was casual. We didn't wear jeans. You might wear a blazer. You wear some stuff. And, because I'm sample size, I was,
So you got the best.
I'm sample size. Yeah, I can go to a store and buy. Most of these guys can't buy stuff off the rack. And then by having a clothing store, I knew how to buy clothes. I knew the designers that wear.
Yeah.
So even my casual stuff, and a lot of my stuff was tailor-made. So I don't know if I was the best dressed. I was one of them. Spencer, came in because he had been around the world. Iman coming from Paris, so he had different different kind of wardrobe and stuff. So,
go. All right, moving on. One word to describe Magic Johnson. One word.
Beast.
All right. If you could run a fast break, let's say you got the ball, you're in the middle, and you had your choice of wing guys, who would be your two wing guys? If you were running a fast break, your dream wing guys, who would it be?
Shit, it'd probably be Silk and Coop. One of them, I can just throw it up in the air.
Another one,
Silk,
where, no matter where you throw it, he's going to catch it.
He's going to catch it and lay it up. Those two guys, man. Coop, I mean, if you look at a lot of tape, we on the fast break, he's looking up, man. I'm going this way so I can throw it to him. And no matter where I threw it, he was going to go get it. I mean, he made me look so good. I threw some bad passes. I remember one pass, he dunked on somebody. So this is the rim and this is the backboard. So I'm passing from here, right? So it gets away from it. So it kind of went behind the backboard. He's coming baseline. He jumped up, caught it back like this, pulled it around, and dunked on somebody's head. I was like,
the Cooper Loop?
They was like, great pass. I went there. I said, boy, you make me look good. So those guys were good. Yeah.
I got one more for you. Yeah. One more for you, Norm. First thing you bought with your NBA paycheck.
You got to remember, man, I came out of the projects and never had an apartment, lived on campus for 4 years. Man, I started buying furniture. I didn't buy a car. I didn't buy a car. I bought furniture.
How'd you get around LA?
I had a car. I had a little old car. You believe it or not, I had a 69 Jaguar XKE. One of those long-nosed Jags. That thing, I used to get wet because it rained on me. It got hot. I had to always look at the temperature. I got rid of that thing, got a TR6. But one of the first cars I bought my old Mercedes, my 450 SEL. I bought that. And then, but I was different, man. Before I bought a car, I bought a townhouse.
Smart.
So I had a different kind of mentality. Huh?
You still own it?
Yep.
Go ahead.
And then after that, I bought my mom a house and bought me another house.
There you go.
So I was in the real estate business when I played. So, one of the things I did do when I was young, I went through real estate school, not so much to get a license, but understand how to package loans. Like I loan broker for the summer, so I knew how to package loans. So I syndicated a lot of property.
Wow.
So I bought a lot of real estate when I was young.
Y'all didn't know how smart Norm was, did y'all? All right, last thing, Norm. And I know you and Debbie doing unbelievable work with the dance school and things like that. What else is going on with Norm Nixon? With
the dance right now, we get ready to do our Nutcracker again. So I produced that. So we get ready to do about 10 shows down at Redondo Beach Performing Arts Theater. All you guys come first 2 weeks in December. Something we've been doing for many, many years.
Love that.
Called a Hot Chocolate Nutcracker. So I do that. So down there, I'm kind of the COO, CFO of the Dance Academy. Then I do like some good consult. I work a lot. Work a lot with AIDS Healthcare Foundation. So I book acts for them. I actually headed to Atlanta now. I booked CeeLo and Trombone Shorty for a show. I'm booking the show for December 1st at the Forum, actually, of all places. So I'm talking to a lot of big acts about doing that. So I have fun. So in between that, I do my entrepreneur work. I still work with ABC. So I just have fun sitting in my office, I've always loved in the office work because I'm kind of a guy that can read contracts and sit and read contracts and be to myself some quiet time. So I still do entrepreneur work, and that's the kind of work I'll do when I'm sitting at home at my desk at the house. These contracts for ags and contracts with people like that. I just was a producer on this play that just came from China. I did it here. We did it at the Noble Theater. So I'm going to probably bring that back and tour it in a couple of places. So I'll produce that. So I'll set up the theaters and do all that kind of stuff. So I just quietly just make deals.
Yeah, and do it behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes.
Any more acting in your
No, I ain't no acting in my future. even when I I did the little Fish to Save Pittsburgh, I used to always recommend other guys like Marcus and the guys that wanted to act because I'm so stoic in a way that when I'm happy, I'm happy. When I'm sad, I'm sad. If I'm angry, I'm angry. I can't conjure that up. I'd have to think of a whole lot of stuff to be pissed off, or if I'm happy, I have to think of happy moments. So I'm not an actor. I'm not a good actor. I'll say that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that does it for our edition with Storm and Norman, Mr. Norm Nixon on the Byron Scott Fast Break podcast.
Thank you, Norm. Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching Byron Scott's Fast Break. If you like what you saw, here's some more videos. And while you're at it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.